Welcome to the Wed Pro podcast, the show for wedding professionals and business owners.
Each month, we bring you top industry experts, business chat, and hints and tips to grow your business.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Roxy.
Welcome to the Wed Pro podcast. Hi, welcome back to this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. You're listening to Katie and Roxy from the Wedding Business Hub. We help businesses build better, more sustainable and profitable businesses without any of the burnout, and teach you how to enjoy your wedding business. Thanks for joining us on this episode today. Really great to be talking with you. Today we're going to be talking all about adding additional revenue into your wedding business, and we're going to talk about some experiences that we've had around this subjects, and give you some kind of tips as to how you can bring in different services and different ideas into your business so that you can increase the revenue that you bring in to your wedding business, and kind of push through those limits that you might kind of find that you're hitting or potentially working towards hitting in your business.
So with adding, additional revenue streams to your wedding business, it may seem on the front of it actually like when you think about your business model that this is something that you can't do, or you're not sure how to do it. Well, this is where we can help you.
100%. And I think actually when you kind of think about where you are in your business right now, and adding additional revenue streams can mean so many different things, can't it? We're going to talk about, the way that we've added additional revenue into our business, and also about some of the ways that we add passive income into our business, which can really help you kind of reach other levels without having to increase workload. But I just want to take it back just slightly to kind of say how and why we kind of got into this in the first place. So we come from a bridal background, we come from a wedding business background. I started my business kind of 12 years ago now, and Roxy got into kind of this industry and definitely came to work for me and with me in the shop, in order to be able to have a business that works around our families. And that was one of the kind of common ground that we also, wasn't it, Roxy?
It definitely was, yeah.
So we wanted to
kind of work and to earn money that we could do around also being busy mums, basically having a life.
Yeah, and kind of those family commitments that we kind of got, and as women, and maybe the women listening to this can kind of resonate, and also the men as well, who quite more and more popularly actually, the men that have businesses are kind of caring for the children at home as well. It kind of fell mainly on us, didn't it, to kind of be able to manage both. So we kind of wanted a business, and I wanted a business that was going to work for my family first and foremost. Now, in the bridal shop, as we kind of got busier and we got more and more well-known, and we ended up moving premises, and all of that was absolutely fantastic, and, we brought on staff. I had a kind of this point in the business where actually I was spending less and less time with the children, and we were working kind of most weekends, weren't we? And I started to have feelings of like, how sustainable is this long term? At what point am I going to be able to stop working weekends when the business relies on me? And yes, I had a team, so maybe even more so for you listening, that you might be kind of having those feelings or those thoughts, and if you're not having those feelings and thoughts, there will be a point in your business where you do start to think, is working every single weekend, or most weekends of the year, because we are in the wedding industry and this is what we're expected to do, is that sustainable for the next 25, 35 whatever years of your life? And for me, I was starting to have those kind of thoughts, and mum guilt, totally honest, just pure mum guilt.
I was going to touch on mum guilt. Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of business owners who are like sole traders or have like a small team, when you start your business, if the point of starting it was to have more time with your family, and now actually that's not happening anymore, I was just going to say, I bet mum guilt came into it massively.
Yeah, I think that was that. I mean, as exciting as it was at work, that we were getting busier and opportunities were opening up in terms of new shops and things like that. It was kind of like this balance of like, balancing it with the family, it was getting to a point where it was starting to tip in the wrong direction, and you know, when I looked and thought, oh, you know, I started this business to spend more and more time with my family. How much longer am I going to allow myself to work like this for? So you know, that started to come up. And then the second thing that started to come up was we were hitting a limit. We were hitting kind of an income limit as to how much we could physically sell, because we needed to physically be in the appointments to sell. So we were hitting that limit, and we had some quite big costs to kind of cover. So by the time the costs were kind of taken out of the mix, we were left with a certain amount of income at the end of it. And this was a point where we were working all the hours we could, weren't we, Roxy? We were working.
We were maxed out, like time wise, changing room wise. There was not another way that we could have physically been able to hold more appointments and make more revenue.
No, especially because we were kind of balancing it around some specific time restraints that we physically couldn't be in the shop at school run time, for example. So the shop was always shut at that time because we both had school runs to do. But yeah, we were definitely hitting that kind of income ceiling where we were like, we can't push any further. So this is as much as my business is ever going to grow. And that, again, for me, I wasn't at a level, and this isn't about, you know, wanting to have lots and lots of money in my life or talk about having, you know, abundant wealth or anything like that. It was just at a point where actually I wanted to look at different ways of doing things and, you know, pushing that income limit to allow me to spend some more time with my family, or if I was able to bring in an additional revenue streams without physically needing to be at appointments selling things or physically being at wedding fairs and marketing my business, that would surely open up more time for the family.
Yeah, I think it's something that, I don't know, maybe if you haven't like thought about this kind of process in your business, definitely you need to have some sort of strategy moving forward, because at some point this will happen to you as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had kind of these thoughts last year in terms of like the pandemic, and in terms of, you know, the wedding industry, as we know, is kind of shut down. And it was like, oh, okay, what do I do in this situation? Like, where else do I get money from? We've been exploring additional revenue streams for kind of 3.5-4 years now, haven't we, Roxy? You know, and
I think we kind of fell up on it maybe a little bit by accident, and then kind of realised like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and that kind of came about from, you know, we always loved marketing, we loved Instagram, we loved Facebook, we love helping people. This is all things that me and Roxy love to do. And when we were kind of at wedding fairs and chatting to other vendors and suppliers at wedding fairs, we kind of went from this bridal shop that no one knew anything about to winning some like pretty big awards, being, you know, featured in national newspapers for like businesses to watch. Women in Business Awards we won. We fronted a national campaign to support women getting back into work, didn't we, Roxy? We ended up on Don't Tell the Bride, and this morning, radio stations, constantly local radio stations, and that then opened up conversations with the suppliers saying, oh, like, how have you done this? So, you know, we were having these conversations anyway, but other than to take on, and people were willing to pay us for it and saying, oh, you know, how are your videos on social media attracting so many views? And how are your posts on social media? How are you reaching like hundreds and thousands of people without any paid ads? And we were having these chats with people, weren't we? But we were, like we said, we were literally at a point where we just couldn't take any more on in the business. And then we kind of fell upon this idea of, oh, you know, if I worked with one client at one time, and then took on another client and had to work with that client, I'd probably be giving them the same information, and the same questions were coming up more and more, weren't they? So we kind of said, right, do you know what? I'm going to put all of this into a guide, like a helpful guide, and people can access that. And it's all of the things that we've done in order to how to grow our Instagram purely for the wedding industry, and all of the tips that we kind of put in there, and the hashtags that worked and didn't work, and the strategies that worked and the ones that didn't work.
All of the things that fellow suppliers would come in the shop and ask us about, or at wedding fair and ask us about, or friends that have got wedding businesses would ask us about. So it really made sense, and it was more what's the word? More, you know, like we could put it all together in one place, and not have to keep It's almost like going over the same information, wasn't it?
Yeah, but also that then enabled us to help a lot more people. So if somebody wanted to, at that time, if someone wanted to work one-on-one with us, we would be charging, because it would take us out of an appointment in the shop. We would have been charging quite a lot more, whereas in a guide, we could keep that accessible, not too much money, and actually be able to distribute that en masse to a number of people who wanted that information and wanted to know how to grow their Instagram and wanted to know how to connect with other suppliers and relationships and clients on social media.
More of a streamlined way of getting the information and the knowledge that we knew out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. So we kind of put this together really easily in Canva, which, you know, if you know anything about me and Roxy, you'll know that we love Canva, and put it together over the course of kind of, I'm going to say, a few days to kind of build it, maybe a week and a half of really planning what was going to go in there and where, but definitely when I came to sat and write it, a couple of days. And that was our first kind of eye-opener into something that is quite passive.
Yeah, and something that we didn't know, well, I didn't really know that was possible. Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew people sold stuff and made money, but it's not really a thought process that I'd gone through before that, actually.
Yeah, and that's it. And there's this kind of thing that, you know, passive income is kind of this myth subject. That's something that, everybody definitely wants it, but don't really know how to get into it, or, you know, maybe it feels a little bit strange to you that you don't actually need to be in serving your client in person to be able to be making money.
Because that is a strange feeling. That is a strange feeling to know that, well, to think I can be making a similar amount of revenue, but actually now whatever it is created, it sells itself, kind of. Like, you don't actually you put the work in beforehand, because we're not going to say, look, it's easy peasy. We've since launched different courses, haven't we? And we've put time into those courses. We've put time into building an audience. It's not passive, you don't need to do any work, but at the point where you come to sell it, it's quite semi-passive, isn't it? It is. And then the second and the third time that, you know, you relaunch it or whatever, it becomes so much easier.
Yeah, and one thing to kind of tell people that are listening is if you're thinking about adding other additional revenue streams into your business and maybe having something that's a bit passive, and we can talk through some ideas with you on this podcast, just in case you're thinking, oh, I've got no idea where I could start, is that it's not something that has to replace your wedding business. You know, you can put some time into doing it, you know, maybe in your quiet season, or, you know, when you know that your business is a little bit quieter, and then launch it at a time that is right for you. Know that it's then built, and then it'll tick along nicely alongside your business that you run, and you need to have focus, and potentially you need to put a few hours in a month to just kind of maybe you want to do a relaunch, or maybe you want to kind of reach out to clients that you're kind of working with, or however it is. And there's loads of things that people can do, even outside of wedding industry or any ideas that you've got for the wedding industry, haven't you? We know people that have set up bridal subscription boxes, haven't we? That's quite passive, definitely semi-passive. They use the kind of similar model, don't they? They get people in, the boxes go out, you know, either quarterly or monthly. We know people that teach other aspiring wedding business owners all sorts of things. SEO, we know somebody that was a wedding business owner that now does kind of SEO training, because lots of celebrants, similar story to us actually, lots of celebrants were coming to her and saying, how have you got so far ranked on Google? Yeah. So then really similar story actually, she was being asked quite a lot about this information. So then she popped it in a course, and now she runs courses on SEO and masterminds and things like that can be you delivering it on camera on kind of a Zoom thing, or it can be just a presentation, your voice.
Slideshow kind of thing where you talk over some slides.
Or it can be an ebook.
We want it to be, can't it?
Yeah, I know somebody that's planning like a full wedding planning service, so they kind of get a course on how to plan every aspect of their wedding. Right. And they've got like a wedding planning background. So that would go quite well with your current business, isn't it? Like,
I think it's beneficial to create something that is going to complement your business, but also at the same time if you've kind of got to think, what am I good at? What do I find easy that I could teach somebody else? Like whether it's in your wedding business or you create something completely separate and build a brand new audience, as long as you know something like better than somebody else, there's no reason why this won't work for you.
So I'll say something funny now. So I know of somebody that was doing like cooking lessons on like a passive income module, and it was like about like chicken dinner. This is how it started, that she was constantly asked like, oh my god, your chicken dinners are so good, and she was like, God, surely like everyone knows how to cook a chicken. You open the chicken, you whack it in the oven, and people were like, no, actually, like we can't get it right, like we can't do it how you do it. And
your
then
gravy is just perfect.
And then she started to teach on that. And I know people, you know, we've been talking about passive income and been in this kind of world for a little while, so we do know people that have done passive income. I know of other people. So even things like, you know, you might be really handy, and you know, you are great at, you know, DIY, or really handy in the garden. There are so many things, isn't there, Roxy? And we actually made a list, didn't we? We actually made a list. So we'll link it on the podcast just in case you're like, oh.
We will. And you'll be surprised what isn't there.
Or you're a musician because you teach people, you know, how to play the piano beautifully. Or are you absolutely amazing at golf and could teach people, you know, how to... And it doesn't have to be expert level. And this is one of the myths. So
I was just going to say about
you don't have to be... Because this is where like massive imposter syndrome comes in, doesn't it? Where you think, oh, surely to teach someone else something, I've got to know everything about that subject and be a total expert.
Yeah.
We take it back to that chicken story that I've just told you about, the roast chicken. She went on to be really successful. She now has like, you know, people have the lessons from her, and then also she has these subscription boxes where she sends recipes out to people. They subscribe to recipes, they subscribe to like lessons, and that's how it started over like, and you know, most people listening to this would know, you know, I can cook an all right chicken. But actually, you just need to know more than...
You've got to find what your chicken dinner thing is.
Yeah, like find that thing where people are always asking you, how do you do that? Like, so for us, constantly, even family ask me constantly, like, how do I do this on social media?
Yeah, like friends that have got businesses that are outside of the industry are always pinging them inbox, which is fine because, you know...
Yeah, we love it, and we love to help people, don't we?
Yeah, I love it.
Don't we?
I think another myth, kind of quickly to touch on, which kind of links into what you just spoke about, is, you know, feeling like you have to... It's like you always... It's the imposter syndrome, but also you have to, like, be overly confident or act a certain way, or, like, to be... successful and an expert at something. But you don't. You can just be you. You don't have to do anything that you're not comfortable with. Normally with these kinds of things, actually, if you know what you're talking about with it comes really natural, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You find it easy. Super professional. You know, you don't need to put on, you know, newsreader voice or anything like that. You know,
you don't need to get like your 5-piece suit on if you're a guy,
or your boss babe suit. You just need actually to be you, and you know your audience. You might be sat there thinking, oh, there are 100 other things out there actually teaching Instagram. Let's take that one. How many other Instagram coaches are there, Roxy, and Instagram and social media coaches?
Oh,
bazillions. But you know, you guys listening to this podcast and the people that are in our community, come to us because hopefully you like us, or you relate to us in some way. You know that we smash it in the wedding industry. We've proven, you know, the results that we get to work with. And so you guys come to us for that sort of stuff. And there are those people that obviously don't come to us for that sort of stuff, and that's absolutely fine, isn't it? You know, that you don't have to think, I need to know the most. I need to know more than all of those other people to be able to launch my product. You know, your part of it will be growing an audience who will want to buy something from you in particular. So yeah, you know, you were saying there, like block, like you might have like a block in terms of feeling like you need to be the expert, and this is mindset stuff, isn't it? Like, and actually, like, we fell into it quite accidentally, like we said. Yeah. And then it was like, okay, and it got to a point in our business where actually it pivoted to the point where we were earning more passively than we were in the shop. on the things that we'd already built. So then it was the decision we made in terms of our business was growing and our events were growing and we were doing a lot of teaching, that we stepped away from what we were doing. You might not want to do that, and that's absolutely fine.
That was a strange feeling though, wasn't it? It's like there's almost a block there with, feeling like, geez, we were grafting so hard in the bridal shop to make this amount of money, and now it's coming in passively, semi-passively. Did it feel weird for you? Because it felt weird for me.
100%. And this is just actually mindset. It's probably took me a good couple of years to actually feel comfortable with this and be able to even say to people, this is how I earn my money, and for not to feel almost guilty, because there's this kind of thing where you must work hard to earn money, and actually that's going, the more that we kind of grow as a society, and even post-pandemic, and this idea of a 4-day week kind of is being spoken about, it's actually about how productive you are, or how really you need to respect your journey and your experience. So feeling guilty because potentially you're not there grafting in front of a client or a bride for the money that you then receive, it's something that you've created. You've still had to graft to create that. You've still had to perfect your craft. You've still got to be, let's say you're a florist and you want to teach DIY brides to be able to put together their bouquets, or you want to teach other florists that don't do weddings and want to crack the wedding market how to put together bouquets and buttonholes and that sort of thing. Or maybe you want to concentrate on the business side of it. Maybe you are fantastic at a specific part of your business, and you're like, I've got that comfortable.
You've got a really mega spreadsheet that you've created that solves a certain problem for your certain business.
Or you understand how to make profit, or you understand accounting, or whatever it is, or you can build fab websites. You've got experience in that field. You've had to work to get where you are. Respect your journey, and it is still work. Like, you've still had to create that product, create a sales page, build trust with your audience, create the ebook or record the course, whatever it is, and that still takes time. It's not truly passive. So it's about just getting rid of that guilt associated with making easier money, and that definitely is a mindset thing, isn't it?
Quite a lot of it is going to be mindset. I mean, for me as well, it almost felt like I almost had to justify why making that much money was okay, and even to others, because still you work for yourself, so you can't be doing that well. And I actually said to somebody outright the other day, I was like, do you know actually that I make this amount of money each month from simply doing this? And they're literally, their facial expression changed, and I was like, there you go, see, it's not just all take me seriously.
Yeah, and this is it's not even just about taking seriously. It actually opens up opportunities in terms of family time. Take it back to the family time. I had COVID over Christmas. My children then caught COVID. I couldn't work at that time. I wasn't too unwell, but I definitely felt I knew I'd got COVID. And I was still making the same amount of money. If I want to go out with my friends for a coffee, or I want to go for a spa couple of days, I'm still bringing in a consistent amount of money every month. I know okay, I'm going to go to bed tonight and I'm going to wake up and I know this much money is going to be in my bank account tomorrow, because I know of the sales that come in on our passive income products. We've got some subscription services, haven't we, Roxy?
We have, yeah.
So we know that we're going to wake up in the morning and have more money in our bank account the next day. Who doesn't love that feeling?
Which, can I say, is an absolutely great feeling. And now I've got overall all kind of the money blocks and things, and the mindset of it. It's absolutely great. I'm 100% comfortable with it now. I mean, I still love working with clients, still love the social media side of things, but it's a nice, refreshing feeling to think that we've got more than one stream of income coming in.
That's it. And we don't have to rely on we don't have to rely on being in front of brides anymore. Obviously, we don't have to rely on a certain amount of clients per month. Yes, we still take on client work because we absolutely love what we do, don't we, Roxy? But we've also got something that perhaps the people who can't afford to work with us one-on-one, we're still helping those people because we've got a more accessible product for them. Yeah. And, we don't create anything, and this is what it's like a dirty word, isn't it? We don't create anything passively that's, people don't want. We get really great feedback about our courses and our subscription services. But kind of this thought about easy money goes against this thing where you have to work hard. Perhaps your parents worked really hard in their life.
I think it's kind of it's a lot to do with probably exactly what you're saying, being brought up in a certain way, parents having certain thoughts and values about working and stuff like that. It's just I think it's a really clever way of making money, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of ingrained, and these kind of things, and however you're thinking about diversifying your income, or whether you're thinking about it like, it opens me up the opportunity to actually be able to work with more clients because I know I've got this much money coming in, or I'm able to then pick and choose what clients I work with. And you can leverage more income with the same amount of work, work that you're doing, but just simply earn more money about it. We had all these blocks, didn't we? We did a kind of a free challenge, didn't we? So we'd already started to do some passive income, but wanted to take it kind of up a notch a little bit. And we did a free challenge with a fab lady called Lisa Johnson, and she kind of helped us with these money blocks a little bit, didn't she? With some of the training that she was kind of talking about.
Oh, Lisa's great.
And just being able to see somebody else actually. And we didn't know too much about her when we kind of came across her, but she's got a wedding industry background as well. So it was nice on that relatable thing to be able to say, okay, wedding industry, this doesn't just work for me. I'm not an anomaly. This can work for other people too. And this is what we kind of say all the time, don't we? We can do it, you can do it.
We're nothing special. Like little old me, nothing special going on about me. We've just learned how to do something, and now we do it well.
Yeah, I think even just as an exit strategy in terms of thinking about your business long term.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Do you want to physically be doing weddings kind of 30 years from now in order to be bringing in your money, or what's that long kind of term plan? It feels weird to be talking about exit strategies of business, but I've always been interested in the business side of business, haven't I, Roxy? I love the wedding industry, absolutely love it. But business is business to me, and a lot of skills in business can be transferred across lots and lots of different businesses and
lots of industries
and lots of different industries. And one of the things that I was thinking about really early on in my business career was, okay, at some point I'm going to want to retire, or I might want to sell my business, or spend more time with the children, or anything like that, or even just take 2 weeks off or a month off or whatever it is. How can I figure that out in terms of still being able to bring in more money? Am I just not going to pay myself? Am I going to go on the state pension? What am I going to do? But anyway, when we found Lisa, we were like, oh yeah, okay, somebody in the wedding industry that's kind of done a similar thing, looks at passive income, and she's absolutely fab at what she does, isn't she?
She's great. So the things that she's taught us, and the strategies that we've learned from her, nothing like overly complicated. Anyone can do it. It's just about the process and how you do it, and Lisa teaches it amazingly.
And also it helped us to start thinking of other ideas. So yes, we had a couple of passive income products, but actually by doing this challenge, it actually opened us up to some other ideas that we could have, like maybe we wanted to run some masterminds and some other kinds of subscriptions, and how we could kind of integrate that into our business so that we could have more time with our clients that were paying for us kind of one-on-one.
And it made me realise as well that actually this expert is not a word to be scared of. We are the experts at what we know.
Yeah, and if you're feeling like, oh, I'm not an expert in anything, Lisa's running a 4-day course really soon. We would love for you guys to be a part of it. Me and Roxy are going to do it again, aren't we? Because we always come up with new ideas when we do it.
We always come out of it learning something new.
Yeah, and it would be nice for us to kind of invite you guys in, because we'll hold your hand. We've been doing this for kind of 3 years now. So we've kind of launched a few times. We know what we're doing. Both of us kind of read a lot of stuff as well, don't we? Not just, doing courses with Lisa, but also, read a lot. This is what we like to do. And we're happy to kind of share all of that with you.
Of course we are, yeah.
But if you're there thinking, I can't even think of an idea, don't worry. Lisa talks you through how to come up with something. And that's the first kind of day's training. So by the end of day one, you'll have an idea of what you want.
And it's absolutely great because there's lots of others in exactly the same boat as well, and you can bounce off ideas. You can bounce ideas off me and Katie. Honestly, by the end of day one, you'll be like, got it.
Yeah, and then it's just a case of it. So she's doing this challenge as to how you can kind of build some passive income into your business. There are loads of people that just from the free challenge, don't they, go on to make thousands of pounds of money just from kind of doing this free training. So yeah,
how crazy is that? How crazy is that? Just to think that you can actually go on to make money from a free 4-day training.
Yeah, and she walks you through everything, absolutely everything you kind of need to know. It's done really easily, isn't it? It's like quick sessions.
Then you get a bit of homework to go and do sometimes, but
quick sessions that you can kind of watch along live or watch along on replay. Oh, we didn't mention, and there's prizes. Like, we're not just talking prizes, we are talking prizes. Yeah, we would actually, please don't register, because I would love for our community to win the prizes, wouldn't you? Like, we're talking like Gucci prizes, like
Fortnum and Mason hampers.
I don't think these are the ones that were last year, weren't they? But she is known for her prizes, isn't she?
She is known to give away trips on a private jet, like stuff like that. So this, like, you're gonna want to be in it.
Yeah. So her challenge starts on the 21st of March, but registration is open now, and spaces are limited because she wants you to get as much value as possible. So yeah, definitely go and sign up. Go and check it out. If you're interested in thinking, I'm going to want to add some additional revenue into my business at some point, or, anything we've said today has kind of piqued your interest in some way and it's given you some kind of food for thought in terms of, our story, or maybe where you are in your business right now. Then yeah, do go and check on board. Do check it out. Like, Lisa's helped us so much, hasn't she? And which we really we really enjoy our business as well, don't we? Actually, I really enjoy the way that we make money. We know that we're helping people. We know that we're getting them in a place where they can build a better business. And also, it allows us to do things like this, do our podcast where we don't make any money from our podcast, do we, Roxy? Like,
we just do it because we love to talk.
Yeah, we love to talk and we love to help other wedding professionals. And, we've got a community of thousands and thousands of wedding professionals. We, if you're not in that community, go and join. But those of you that are in that community will know how much we give for nothing. And having passive income in our business allows us to do that, doesn't it? And it allows us to be able to...
takes away that pressure, and it allows us, it's almost like we can thrive a little bit more, because sometimes I get bogged down with like the pressure of, okay, like, got bills to pay, whereas I feel free.
I think it enables us then to kind of help others, doesn't it? And in your business you might be thinking, okay, I want to keep it wedding industry related, I want to do something that's would appeal and work alongside my project. Go and hop in the challenge. The cogs will start turning.
You will not regret it. You will not regret it.
Me and Roxy will kind of like mini coach you along the side. So if let us know if you do go and join the challenge. Do let us know. Drop into like our inbox, or send us an email. We'll pop details of how you can get hold of us in the notes. And we'll bounce ideas off with you, won't we? We'll answer any kind of questions you've got.
Yeah, they're ideas, people, definitely.
And we'll be in the challenge as well. So we'll be in the challenge doing it alongside you. So if you're like, what have you done for this? We'll be like, let's have a brainstorm. Yeah, we'd love it. So we'll pop the details of that in the show notes. In the show notes.
Yeah, we will. I'll put the link so you click on it and then register for your place.
If you're listening thinking, I can't do this, it's not for me, the first thing, the most important thing to do is think, this can work for anybody, and to deal with that kind of mindset. And the most important thing to kind of get you to that next step will be to just work on your mindset. We're when we started with passive income, I was 30. So you were younger. Roxy's the younger one, if you didn't know.
29.
So, you know, not at the top of our game in our career whatsoever, but people were still happy to pay for knowledge that we had. And that's right, isn't it? People are happy to pay for knowledge.
Let me tell you, I've had like mind blocks all of my life, and it's actually probably only doing this that's made me realise that you are what you give off. So if you feel confident and feel like, you know, I can teach somebody something, you will. Definitely, you will, 100%.
Yeah.
So if you are even not sure about if you want to take part, just come and dip your toe in. There's no harm in coming and have a look. If it's for you, great. If it's not, equally great.
I think once you're in as well, you can catch up on the videos.
Yeah.
Can't you? So you can catch up on the videos and think, yeah. But if anything we spoke about doesn't need to be as much the myth as it is, does it, Roxy? It doesn't need to be this like dirty little secret that, oh, I can't do that. That's only for like the top 2% of business owners.
It's not. It's for you. We've just got to find a way for it to happen. That's all.
Yeah, and we're over here every step of the way. Go and check out the challenge. We really urge you to do it. You know, even, you know, Lisa is really renowned, and she works with people kind of one-on-one, doesn't she? And, you know, to work with Lisa in this capacity would normally cost you a lot of money, because she's got so much value and so much training and so much knowledge to share. But you're going to get all of that for free. So go and sign up, you know, and you can do it. You don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to sit there thinking, you know, whatever the block is, or if you've got any block you want to work through with us, we're more than happy to help.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know if you're struggling with something like that. Honestly, like I have had every mindset block there is going. So, you know.
We're really getting into mindset in 2022, aren't we, Roxy? We're freeing up different things, but yeah, we definitely will be with you every step of the way. Really look forward to seeing you inside of the challenge. We'll be there rooting for Team Wedding Business Hub. Let us know if you're doing it as well. So just let us know. Hey girls, we'll pop in the show notes details for you to register. So it's open now for you to go and register. Spaces are limited, so go and register, and then you'll be in. Don't worry about that. And it starts on the 21st of March. Really short videos every single day. You can watch it, you know, along live or watch it on replay. Don't worry about that. But yeah, definitely go and check it out.
Do it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we do hope to see you in the challenge. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.